सर एक मिनट। स्टार्ट हो गया सर।
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in this second live session of our course on science communication, research productivity, and data analytics using open source software. So, I am Mohit Garg, coordinator for this course. Along with me, my other faculty colleagues are there: Dr. Neeraj Chaurasia sir, Dr. Navi Hassan sir, Vijay Verma sir, Vanita madam, and Dr. Manu TR. Also, my three TAs for this course are also joining this session. And the format of this session, as we have discussed in the previous session, that we have already asked some input from you, and some of you have already filled up some questions to be discussed today in this session. So we'll discuss those questions, and still, if you couldn't submit your responses in those forums, so you can submit in the chat box of this YouTube session, and we will try to answer all those queries and all your doubt, whatever you have faced in during this 9 weeks. Okay, so I'll start with a few of the common questions I have faced on some of the common questions I have seen in the discussion forum. And these are the issues generally occur when we do analysis in R, and many times we change the object name. So I'll start discussing those issues, and then we'll go ahead with the other questions. Okay, so I'll just share my screen. So, if you remember, we have discussed about this particular part in during the text and mining, and when we talked about regular expression, and regular expression helps us in finding the words from the text data which are matching particular pattern. Okay, so say for example, this is our one test object where we have these many text. So I have taken up these example because here we have different kind of text. Okay, so we have text written in uppercase, we have text in lowercase, we have text written in both uppercase and lowercase. Then we have a text written in like uppercase, lowercase, and some digits are there. Okay, so when we talk about applying text mining in context of academic papers and research papers, we won't be getting that kind of mix text. But somehow, if we get it, so it will help you to clean the data, and then you can do the analysis. Okay. So now, if we have this data, so if we run this and if we see our particular data, so we can see that this is our object and where we have these many our values are there. Okay, now say for example our aim is to extract the text which is ended by a digit. Okay, so if you remember, we have already discussed about that there is a caret symbol. If we put caret symbol here, that means match the text which is starting with a digit. But here our focus is not on the text which is starting with digit, but text which is ending with a digit. Okay, so we are using this dollar sign. So my pattern is this. If I run this, okay, now if I this is my grab function is there, which is just match the pattern and just let us know, okay, this is the value where the particular pattern is matching. Okay, So again, I have mentioned many times that whenever we use new function, we just check it down what exactly that function is and how we have to call that function. So how we will do that? We'll use this question mark sign. So if you do this, it will automatically show you that it's a pattern matching and replacement. So if I run this here, and here it will show you the all the help. Okay. Now, if we call this function, so here there are two requirements are there. One is our pattern and another is our data object. And this part is the requirement if we want to know only the value, what exactly that text is. Okay. So if I run this, so my output has been came that there are three values are there which are start ending with a digit. Okay, so if you see this text, so this was not here. This only this one is there which is ending with a digit. So then this one is ending with a digit and this one is ending with a digit. Okay, our focus is not it's whether it's starting with alphabets or not. Our just focus was it should end with a digit. Okay, now, many of the learners have made this mistake here is that now they have created another pattern, like say for example with this pattern. Okay, now we want to seek the numbers which are now we want to seek the text which is starting with a digit. Okay, so basically our focus is on this particular part and then this particular part. Okay, so there are two texts are there which are starting with a digit. So if I create this a new pattern, and now if I run this, but if you see here, that my output is not that. My focus was, my aim was to get those text which is starting with a digit. Okay, but my output is 1234 Mohit 1234 MOH 12. Okay, this is my previous output, whatever I am getting here. So what exactly the common mistake many of the learners have said on the discussion forum happened is here is that if we see here, the object name is my pattern. In my pattern, there is a spelling is triple T. Okay. So here this new object is created and our original object was this. Okay. So if we are using here my pattern, that means it is calling this object. It is not calling this particular pattern. So what we have to do, we have to remember this, that whenever we are creating a new pattern, we should call it the right object name. So if I just do like this, and now if I run this, so see my output is this. So what exactly our focus is? Our focus is to get the text which is starting with a digit. So we get the right text, but in the earlier case we won't get because we were not calling the right object. Okay. So this is why you should whenever you are doing the text mining or whenever you're doing any kind of analysis in R, you just remember that you if you are calling the right object or maybe right argument. Okay, because like say for example, if you are doing if you have import many data and you're changing the naming convention continuously, like what I have discussed about, like we have created a function like Mukesh. Okay, and if I run this Mukesh, it's give me the value like, hi everyone, I am a teaching assistant for this course. But we have to remember that whenever we are giving the names, those names are related to that particular task. Okay, so that is why the naming convention of the object is very important. Whenever you are doing the any analysis, you are calling the right object or not, just you have to check, then you won't be getting any errors. Okay. Another point, what many some of the learners have asked about this: is there any package is available to from where which help us to extract that particular text? Okay, so there is a this package is called Stringer, and this is a very beautiful package is there to do this text matching and all. So if you don't have installed this particular package, how we will install the package? So there are two options. One is install.packages and another is by going to tools and clicking here. So after installing the package, we will click here to call this library, and then what we will do, we'll check whether that particular function, what exactly that task is. Okay, so we'll use the question mark, and it will give that if there is a exact complete match is there, it will let us know. Okay, now this is our if you see all these functions have their own kinds of how you have to call it. Okay, so if you see here in this particular function, how we are calling first the pattern and then our object where the data is. Okay, but here we are calling first the object which is storing our data, and then we are giving that pattern. Okay, this is the pattern. So for this particular example, what pattern I am taking? I am taking up the pattern that give me the text which is starting with a capital alphabet. Okay, capital in uppercase text. So just starting with uppercase text. Okay, character. So if I do like this, so you see here that how the output is for this particular function. Okay, if we see here, the our output was a different where it gives the exact text value, but here it has given us that, okay, in this particular, if we see the output of this was our object. So at first location, this is a capital in uppercase Mohit is there. So this capital M has retrieved, then capital G is retrieved, and now in next two values, there are no uppercase character is there. Okay, so this is how you see, that is why it is showing the NA value, and then at the this fifth location, it's showing uppercase M, and then at the this 6 7 uh, 6 7 8 9 10, there is no capital uppercase uppercase character is there, so that is why NA is there. And on the 11th and the 12th location, there is like in starting this capital G is there, and then this capital M is there, that is why it is showing G and M. Okay, so you can use this particular package for extracting the data from a you can so you can use this particular package stringer for extracting the particular text based on your pattern, whatever the pattern you are using it. Okay, so this is how you can use this package, and it has like lot many functions based on for your analysis, whatever the analysis you are doing it. Okay, so I request you just you keep doing the try, you just give the try on the data set what we have shared with you on the 50 publications of Journal of Cleaner Production, and just give it try of all, like it has multiple functions. So how you will see the all those functions available in Stringer are, you'll go to the CRAN page, and under the package manual it has listed all those functions. So just you explore those functions. Okay, another questions which was asked in the discussion forum is about this particular question about measure of degree centrality and this betweenness measure, and the like learners have asked about this, we have to discuss about this with complex examples. Okay, so the example which we have discussed in the lecture, it was like only 4 notes were there, and in the assignments the which the but in the assignment the example we have taken up is with the 6 notes. So we'll discuss about that particular example. So if we see, this was our graph was there. For to create a graph in R, we will be using the package library igraph. So if I call this, and these were our node for the particular assignment example, and I'll just create this. Okay. So this is the example, but this is the assignment which we have given in the week 7. So if you see here, like these are the 6 nodes are there. Now whatever the complex examples are there, whatever the complex networks are there, okay, you need to know about the whole concept it is of like degree centrality measure or closeness centrality measure or betweenness centrality measure. Okay, so if we have to like without, if we don't want to understand the concept, only we have to call this function degree of in R, and it will give, if it will give the output, okay, these are the degree centrality of all the nodes. Okay, so if I just simply run this and it give me the output like node 2 has the degree centrality measure of 1, node 1 has the degree centrality measure of 3, node 1 is degree centrality measure is 3. Okay, so this is like the easier way to do, because the computation helps us in doing this all calculation in a faster way. Okay, but we need to know that how, what exactly the degree centrality measure is. So if we see this particular graph, so what exactly the degree centrality measure is? Degree centrality measure is the, basically you can think as a connection. Okay, how many connections are there between the nodes, because this is an undirected graph. So if you see here, this node 2 has only one connection, and that is with node 1. So that is why node 2 has the degree centrality measure of 1. Then if we see the maximum degree centrality measure is for node 4. So how many connection node 4 has? So node 4 has 3 connection. One is with node 3, this one. Then another is node 4 has connection with node 1. And then the another connection is with node 5. So this is the one node which has the degree centrality measure of 3. Then we have the node 1 which has the degree centrality measure is 3. So how node 1 has the 3 degree centrality measure? Because node 1 has one connection with node 2, node 1 has one connection with node 3, and node 1 has connection with node 4. Okay, so there are 3 connection are there for node 1 with 3 different nodes. That is why the degree centrality measure of node 1 is 3. Now some of the learners have posted in the discussion forum that the degree centrality measure for node 1 will not be 3, it will be this 0.6 and all. Okay, so we need to know that what exactly we are calculating it. Okay, so this one is the normalized degree centrality measure. Okay, so the normalized degree centrality measure, what exactly that formula is, I have discussed in the lectures, that whatever the connections are there divided by n minus 1, and n, what exactly n is? N is the total number of nodes in that particular graph. Okay, so if we have to calculate for node 2 normalized degree centrality measure, what it will be? So node 2 has one connection with node 1, so we'll give one connection, and our total nodes are 6, so n equal to 6, so 1 by n minus 1, so 1 divided by 6 minus 1, so it will be 1 by 5. What exactly 1 by 5? 0.2. So node 2 has 0 point normalized degree centrality measure. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the degree centrality measure of all the nodes. So, but we have to see the in the questions that whether we are calculating the degree centrality measure or the normalized degree centrality measure. Okay, so that is the only difference you need to know, that what exactly you are calculating in. Okay, then in the another centrality measure is the betweenness centrality measure. So in simpler terms, you can take it as betweenness centrality measure as like what are the nodes which are connecting between the nodes. Okay, so as the name suggests, betweenness. So what are the nodes capacities there which is exactly in the between of the nodes. Okay, so if we calculate the betweenness centrality of this particular all nodes, so we'll call this function betweenness. And if I, so you see that for betweenness centrality measure for this particular graph is this, and there are the 6 nodes are there. Node 2, node 3, and node 6 have 0 betweenness centrality measure. Why? Because node 2 is not coming in between any of the nodes. Node 2 is not coming in between any of the nodes shortest path. Okay. And similarly for node 6, so node 6 is also not coming in between any of the shortest path. And then node 3 is also not coming. So because you see, the simpler way of understanding the betweenness centrality measure is that, say for example, you are calculating the betweenness centrality measure of node 2. So you just node 2, you just remove this node 2, and just now let think that is there any shortest path between node 1 and node 3? Yes, there is one shortest path is there. Node 1 and node 3, they have node 1 has to move only one step. Then if node 1 has to go to node 4, there is a one step shortest path is there. So there is no other shortest path is there where node 2 is coming in between. Okay. Similarly, you see for node 6, if you see here node 6, if you just remove this node 6 and then you see node 6 is not coming in between any of the shortest path between the two nodes. Okay, so this is exactly what betweenness measure is. So I hope these concept have been like clear to you, the how we calculate the degree centrality measure or betweenness centrality measure or closeness centrality measure. Whenever we will be doing this analysis, we will be doing on like many of the nodes. We will be having like hundreds of nodes. So but at least we should give a practice on these like small examples how we can calculate that degree and betweenness or closeness centrality measure among these nodes. So like I have already shared the code with you. You can just apart from the assignment, you can create your own nodes, like you can change your nodes name here and the connection, and then you calculate manually and using the R code that what exactly the output you get while calculating the manually the degree centrality measure, normalized degree centrality measure, betweenness or closeness, and what exactly the output you get from when you are using in a, are both the output like values are same or not. So if you are getting still those error or any issue, please let us know in the discussion forum. We'll discuss all those like what are the example you have like tried, and then we'll see if any issues are there. Okay, so these are the some of the common questions have been posted on the discussion forum about these some of the questions. So now I'll request Dr. Manu TR to take up ahead like what are the question you have posted in the discussion forum, and if you have any questions still you can post in the YouTube chat. We'll discuss those also.
Yeah, good evening, all. Oh,
Dr. Manu.
hi. Uh, right. Mohit. Hmm? Now we can hear you, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, fine. Uh, can I start with the questions what I received, or how you're going to tell
Whatever
about
the
the
questions
questions?
we have received, we'll go ahead, like those questions. So one by one, you can take all those questions and then.
Okay. The first question what we have received is what is the difference between the OSViewer and bibliocine and site space. See, the major differences when we speak about these three tools, these are the science mapping tools. The one can use this to analyze the research and visualize the research results, creating the various networks. Especially when see where the most viewer, it's an open source and it can give you the more features for analyzing the temporal analysis of journals and authors and institutions. We can create the multiple networks using host viewers like the co-citation networks and co-occurrence and bibliographical coupling, and also the multiple other networks. And when we speak about the bibliosigning, again, it's an R package. We need that R to run the bibliosigning. It's like again, we can create the multiple analysis using the bibliosigning. But one of the major differences and one of the benefit of using the bibliosigning is that we can work with the multiple databases of multiple databases of data source. Using the bibliosignings means we can analyze the result of maybe we can go with the um, Scopus and Web of Science data at the time using the bibliosigning. And the site space, what I was also mentioning that in during my sessions, it's we have the limited version in the free versions. We have to go for purchasing the either standards and advanced versions to get the advanced features. But the site space used to for analyzing the trends and the patterns in the research. Overall, if you are the normal researchers, if you're going to analyze the science and technology or humanities data, the worst viewers is it found more easy and user friendly tools for analyzing and visualizing the research network. And the second questions what we have received, that there was a questions about actually there was a one questions what we have made, that what are the data source which is supported by the host viewer. Yeah, I can understand that the options are given are a little bit the confusing the learners, but to clarify that, the answer is what we have mentioned, the Web of Science Scopus dimensions, because these three databases where we can download the data in a certain format, maybe the CSV and the CSV are the RIS format, we can directly import to the host viewer. But there are other options like the PubMed and Crossref and semantic scholars, where we need that API for retrieving the data from those softwares, those platforms. Even the semantic scholars, we need the DOI of all the articles that we wanted to visualize the data using the OS viewer. So yeah, I can see that there's a little confused, but the answer is what we are clearly given is Web of Science and Scopus and dimensions. And to going forward, the third question is journal search regarding the Scopus database and OS viewer. Here, I because journal search regarding the Scopus and Scopus databases and OS viewer means, if I can understand this, means for how we can search the journals in the Scopus, and the OS viewer we may not have options. I'll show you that how we can search the journals using the Scopus database. Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay. We are having here the Scopus dashboards. We can look at the various search features. I hope you already know that. For answering these questions, you can also directly go to the source. See, you have sources. Sources means it's a journal. You can search the journal that you required. Maybe you can select the journals, what journals you wanted to be look at the research articles. Now I'm selecting the one journal here. And after the journal selection, you can look at the brief introduction about the journal. It may be this site score, the SJR, and other details about the journals, the coverage, and ISSN. For looking the journal documents, we have to go and click on the view documents. View all documents. See, here we have the documents. Right, it means this is how the one can search the journals using the Scopus database, because Scopus has given the separate tab for looking the all the journals indexed by the Scopus. You can easily go at the Scopus databases and search the journal that you required, and you will come to know that at the end what are the articles are indexed in uh, particular journal. And here you have again, you might have, you already seen this in the earlier sessions. Here you have the year wise, and you have some other filters like subject areas and document types and language and keywords and other features. But this way, again, you have some other features. If you'd like to explore it, you can explore how you can analyze the citation views, and you can also download. Yeah, Scopus has some limitation for downloading the articles, maximum 20,000 at one time. You can download by the like 20,000 articles. Uh, and Another questions we have received that they explain about drawing the co-citation through OSViva. Let me briefly about, so what does mean by the co-citations? So when we say the co-citations, it's a kind of the analysis. We have to identify the relationship between the documents based on the co-citations. Means this kind of analysis we can do identify the co-citations of references, and also the co-citations of journals and co-citation of um, authors. So what we can give you the means facilities, we can identify the in a particular data, we can identify the co-citations of cited references and co-citation of journal and authors. I'm just going how we can identify the co-citation networks using this host viewer. See here, we have again create here, we are creating the create a map based on the bibliographical data, because we have data from the bibliographical databases, and we have data from the Scopus, and I'm just importing the data of the Scopus. I have already downloaded the sample data for the Scopus. See here, I'm just importing the Scopus data here and going for the next. I have downloaded the particular journal data. See here we have an option for various networks that's been explained, like the co-authorship and co-occurrence, citations, bibliography coupling, and co-citations. But as required here, how we can go with the co-citations? For co-citations, the type of the analysis, we need the co-citations, and unit type means how we can identify the relationship of the the more than the one or more than articles. Now we have to identify the relationship of cited references. I mean, so how many references are cited in XYZ articles? Like we have a paper one, the document one, as a reference. That particular reference has cited among the 10 or 100 articles. How many 100 articles has index cited by this uh, references? And the second one, we have a cited sources and cited authors. Here, if you could select the cited references to first, and we are just selecting the one next here, and we used to at least minimum number of citations, sub-cited references to make the all the reference citations for these networks, and going for next. And here we have like the 1745 cited references uh, stand for co-citations with this network. And we can see this how the cited references and number of citations and total link strength means what are the more references have been cited maximum times, like these are the references. And now I'm going to click here as a finish. See, I mean, this is how we can create the co-citation networks of of the documents using the cited references. So if you see that, so let me look at this. If you see that this one references have been cited with how many documents? It's been co-cited with the multiple number of documents. Uh, yeah, you have, but you see, this is of the multiple documents. But if you look at this, when you have the single
But
documents,
Manu, we can't see that network.
okay,
We are seeing your
screen is
Scopus.
visible.
Scopus screen is visible only.
Okay, still scope of screen. Wait. Let me share once again. I've shared my entire window. Now it's visible, right?
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. Let me begin now from the beginning. Otherwise, what we were discussing that the how we can create the co-citation network using the cited references. We have imported the data what we have downloaded from the Scopus, and we have selected the cited references under the co-citations, and yeah, we minimize the number of references, number of citations of cited references to be considered for this creating the visual network, and we are minimizing the 4 and 2. Means this is how you can create the co-citation network of using the cited references. See here, you can see that the how are references connected to the one and others. See, if you can take the example of this this references has been connected with the multiple number of documents, like the 5 number of documents. At the same way, you can see this references. This references has been cited by the only one document, because it's not had the co-citations of one document. It's not connected with the any other documents. This means these visualizations can give you that the relationship between the two articles. Means there are multiple number of researchers. If you do the same kind of references, this kind of analysis can help to identify those similar research of similar research, identify the similar research, right? Okay. Means, yeah, we can see that the maximum references have been co-cited, co-cited by the one or maximum more documents. But however, we can also find that there are few references are cited in the only particular document, particular papers, not it's like a single papers, not more than one papers, right? This is the one way we can you can create the co-citation networks using the citation references. There are some features are available, like if you would like to rotate this, and if you would like to make it more visible, you can use the rotations. And we have a network visualizations and another visualization like the density visualizations also there. You can save it, whatever the how as a researcher you like to feel that visible to readers. And another way for creating the co-citation network is using the cited sources. Means here is the sources means the journals. Means we can look at the there are two documents, two papers have cited the references of one particular journals. Means we can also look at the such kind of analysis, how many journals have been co-cited by the one or more than dark papers. So 0841. I'm just minimizing to strengthen our network. You can see the journal titles, like there is a Journal of Clinical, number of citations and the total strength here. and I'm just again going for the finish. See now here. Now you have like you will find that the maximum journals have been co-cited by the more than papers. If you see that if you take this the bigger one, you see that how many papers have been co-cited by these journals, right? At the same way, this you can also the many clusters have been created, like there are many journals have been co-cited by the researcher on one or more papers. And you can also look at that, again, there are single journals where there is no co-citations. It's like it's cited in the any one of the papers of the entire data sets, right? This how you can second when you can create the co-citation analysis of journal of cited journals. And the last, you can use that cited authors. Cited authors, because the co-citation analysis, it's cited authors will minimize. Okay, like, yeah. You see that co-citation analysis by the cited authors. Here you can easily look at that how many the authors have been cited by the multiple papers, right? Uh, you have like there's a one author is a maximum has the co-citations among the papers. And it's also given the different colors, with the clusters you will have a different colors to identify the who has the more authors, the more co-citations among the papers, right? I mean, this is how you can identify the co-citations analysis using this OS viewer. But always, when you say the co-citations, it's like we used to analyze the references of the XYZ papers, because the one paper has the more than because this the multiple papers have some references. We used to identify the relationship between the references to identify the what is the relationship between the paper exact papers, because the one paper has cited the similar paper, two the more than the two papers have cited the similar papers. It has the, some relationship among the papers. This kind of the analysis also helps to identify the trends and what are the most trends and cited papers. And somehow this can also, when you look at the analysis of the journals, you will find that the most frequently cited journals, which is the most cited journals among the research area, and who are the major authors who have been cited by the particular research areas, right? And yeah, this is how you can do that co-citations through the OS viewer. To going further, we have another questions to regarding the reading materials for the assignment and the examinations. The most of the presentations what we have presented during the our sessions, it's been uploaded. There are some of the references are given at the end of the presentations. Those presentations are going to be useful. Those references are going to be useful when you're going to prepare for your assignments and examinations. Means it's like a further studies. If you go through that those references, you will find more reading materials on sessions. And final questions we have, like the site space is a commercial software, like, yeah, the site space has the different three versions. The one, the site space has say different there are different three versions. So the one like the basics, another is the standard, and the another is the advanced version. And site space basics is a free, but the standard and advanced versions are the subscription one. The one has to go and purchase those. But if we are going to use that basic versions, it has some limitations, because using the basic versions we can't do the analysis with the large amount of data, and we can't create the more clusters also. That's how we also face some limitations while analyzing our data, because that cannot we can't create the more clusters using using the maybe the 500 of more than 500 data sets. But there will because the standard and advanced versions, it's the means nominal fee. The one can purchase it, paying the around $55 for the standards and $90+ for the advanced versions. Those can give you the unlimited features, and it also they also have some of the resources, some video tutorials, some of the readings the one can avail for learning the how site space can use it for creating the clusters and identifying the research trends. Uh, yeah, Mohit.
Thank you, Dr. Manu, for clarifying the doubts of the learners. So now we'll move to Dr. Nabi Hassan sir for the questions about one of the learners have asked about the clone journals. So Nabi sir.
What is the question, Dr. Mohit?
The learner have asked that, Professor, can you share your views on safeguarding our original work from clone journal, which is one challenge faced by many budding academicians today?
Okay, I think to avoid clone journal, the best option is like to publish in a journal indexed by Scopus or Web of Science, or at least UGC care listed journal. Or you can also explore those journals which are indexed in directory of open access journals. Apart from this, there are various tools or various platforms which can help you identify a predatory journal or a clone journal. For example, BL Slashed, Cable Slashed, and also there are various sites which can help you identify the features of a clone journal. So I think this is sufficient information to help you protect from the clone journals. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So now we'll move to another question, which is asked by one of the learner that just I'll read it down. When to use Web of Science and when to use Scopus. So I'll invite Vanita madam to answer the question.
Use when to use Scopus and Web of Science, it totally depend upon the data you want to take. But Scopus database base has a 1.7 plus billion data, while and if we subscribe to Scopus, we will get full subscription of it. While in Web of Science, we have different types of core correction, like science citation index, expanded social science citation index, arts and humanities index, and different types of books, book citation index, and many other. So it depends upon the its subscription. So no doubt Scopus has a more large data and it is more easier to use. But see, I will definitely say that it totally depend upon the data you want to take out for your research purpose. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, madam. So there is another question by another learner that how librarians can analyze this data and submit the report to the institution. So if you see that we have discussed about lot many analysis by you can do in either of the R or using the different other packages. So what you can do, like say for example, you are working maybe in A institution, and then based on that, as madam has said that based on your like focus, like if you want to see the like outcome in Scopus based journals or the Web of Science based index journal, you can select that and then you can extract the data. And after extraction the data, you can do multiple kind of analysis, like who are the authors which have published in Q1 journals, and or maybe which are the authors have received the highest citations Okay, so these many analysis you can do it, and also in our week 12 we will be discussing the case studies which will be like very useful for you to how you can submit the report by like starting from the scratch, how you have to collect the data, and then based on your aim, you want to see the prolific author, or maybe the most cited author, or maybe the publications which have received the citations, or maybe the publication which doesn't receive the citation though they have published in good reputed journals. Okay, so those kind of analysis you can do, and accordingly you can submit the report by either using the beautiful visualization what we have discussed, or maybe some text and then those visualization. So I think in that way you can present your report to the institution or the university or research lab where you are working with. Okay. So these were the all questions which were shared in the discussion forum. So still, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box on YouTube. We can take up those questions. So I can see that there are no questions are in the YouTube chat. So we'll end this live session here, and our 2 more weeks are coming up, and then final examination will be there. And if you have throughout this course, if you still have any doubts or you couldn't attend this live session, you can ask us. We have our email IDs on our website, so you can contact us. So with this, I'll end this live session. We'll see you in the lectures, and I wish you all the best for your final examinations. Okay, thank you. संदीप सर.
जी सर.
हाँ
ठीक है सर, मैं अनस्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ सर.